Hey, I'm Trails, and now that I'm at Monster Clues, I thought it'd be a good time to list all the best ways to get clues for Ironman. Some of these might be subjective, but I will give you the reason why I picked some methods over others. Starting with beginner clues. My number one way to get beginner clues was to kill goblins using a Dorgeshun crossbow or a magic short bow. As you can see, it's really quick, and they also drop easy clues at a decent rate. You can obviously always cannon them too. Next up, I'd go to the Minotaurs. By doing exactly the same thing. With a ranged weapon or a cannon, it is very easy to kill a lot of Minotaurs in a short amount of time. They have exactly the same drop rate on beginner clues and a lower drop rate on easy clues. But I am incredibly lazy, and Barbarian Village was just a little bit too far of a run for me after completing the beginner clues themselves. On number 3, if you really want to be a special little snowflake, you can catch some young implings. These require 22 hunting and have a 1 out of 25 drop rate of dropping beginner clues and a 1 out of 50 to drop easy clues, because it's always useful to get more clues out of the same method. And last but not least, it is Obor or Bryophyta and killing hill giants for beginner clues. While killing hill giants, they have a 1 out of 50 drop rate for beginner clues. You can also get a giant key, and this you can use to kill Obor, which actually has a 100% drop rate of getting a beginner clue. And I put Bryophyta next to him because she also has a 100% drop rate of a beginner clue when you get a moss giant key. The best way by far to get easy clues is pickpocketing H.A.M members. You need 20 thieving, and nothing compares to the clues per minute you get here. Obviously, the only thing you have to do is pickpocket them. They have a 1 out of 50 chance of getting an easy clue. The higher your thieving level, the quicker you'll get them, obviously. Nothing compares to this, but if you really don't want to do thieving, you can also hunt for Groumet Imps. Groumet Imps have a 1 out of 25 chance of dropping easy clues. This needs 28 hunter. You don't even need the Lost City to get into puro, you can just find yourself a wheat field with a crop circle in it. Hopping the draynor wheat field worked really well for me. There isn't really anything better than these methods, but I guess you can also kill thugs in level 1 Edgeville Wilderness. With a Ring of Wealth Eye, you can halve the drop rate of clues on any NPC in the wilderness, and so thugs drop easy clues 1 out of 64 with a Ring of Wealth Eye on, and they are really easy to kill. Obviously, you know what I'm going to say for medium clues. It's eclectic implings, hands down. I'm not even going to explain too much. It's 1 out of 25 and requires 50 hunter. But if you really hate puro and you hate money, you can also splash it on cannonballs and cannon Falador guards. If you do this, and I really do not recommend it, please do the Falador medium diaries. It changes the drop rate from 1 out of 28 to 1 out of 106, which is at least a little better, but I really don't like including drops that are over 1 out of 64 because I already think that's not worth it. So as you can probably notice, I don't think it's worth the waste of cannonballs, but a lot of people like it, so I guess I'll include it. And as a third option, which I don't really count because you'll be doing this the same way you're doing the first option, is Essence Inklings. They have a 1 out of 50 drop rate for medium clues, and they're literally anywhere in puro. While catching eclectics, you might as well catch every essence you find. For hard clues, I cannoned hellhounds in the wilderness with the Ring of Wealth Eye. First time I actually put a wilderness thing first, because this is unmatched. With a Ring of Wealth Eye, it is a 1 out of 32 drop rate, and I recommend cannoning them on the other side of the Edgeville Lever in Deep Wilderness, or in the Revenant Caves, because that is under 20 Wilderness and you can actually teleport away. But which actually comes close and is way safer but requires a higher magic level is Bursting Jellies in Kourend. These are the updated warped jellies in the Catacombs of Kourend, and they have a drop rate of 1 out of 64. While doing that, you also get totem pieces, and these totem pieces can be used for Skatizo. And Skatizo has a 100% of dropping hard clues, but I'll come back to him at the elite stage. The third best method I could find is AFKing the Kourend Hellhounds with full prayer gear and pots. This is what I was rocking, and I do understand a lot of Ironmen don't have this, but you might as well use Proselyte or Initiate. It's not as good, but I'm pretty sure every medium to high level Ironman can at least try and match this gear, and has the ability to make prayer potions, obviously. Elite clues, the most difficult clue to get as an Ironman, or just in general. I am completely excluding Dragon Implings because they're that rare to come by, and they're only a 1 out of 50 drop chance. So, what you should do is stack up totems for Skatizo. Don't go and actively search for totem pieces. This is the worst thing you can do, and it is a waste of time. Don't kill low-level things in the catacombs to get those totem pieces. Don't do it. But if you have a totem, go to Skatizo because he has a 1 out of 5 drop rate for an elite clue. Instead, you're better off hunting crystal implings. If you've done some of the elves and have 80 hunting, this is by a mile the best way to get elite clues. I have a whole episode explaining how to do this method, so I'll link that in the description, but essentially you can catch 20 to 30 crystal imps an hour if you do it efficiently, and it has a 1 out of 50 drop rate just like dragon imps. The third best method is doing Sirachnis, the new medium level boss. She's located in the Forthos dungeon and has a 1 out of 30 drop rate of hard clues and a 1 out of 60 for elite clues. If you're a high level Ironman, you can get so many kills in an hour that it literally shits out clues. I did it with low to medium level gear, and I was convinced this was the best way for a while. Because before that, I tried barrows. And barrows, I don't really want to talk about it, but I had some issues. In theory, Barrows has a 1 out of 200 drop rate of an elite clue per brother killed, which means if you kill all 6, you have a 1 out of 33 point something chance to get an elite clue. Now I'm not convinced, because I have gone 200 chests dry of an elite clue. But considering the numbers, and let's say it's correct, you should be able to do at least like 15 Barrows chests an hour, if not more, so it could go really quick. Last but not least, a method I don't really recommend, but if you really hate all the other ones, you could do Barbarian Assault high gambles. With a good team, you can get in some very quick games, and it is a 1 out of 15 drop rate for high gambles, which is actually pretty low. If you calculate it, the time to get it from Barbarian Assault isn't that much higher than Barrows or Sirachnis. And then we're on to monster clues. And they're only obtainable in 2 ways. The first one is getting them from other clues. 1 out of 50 for easies, 1 out of 30 for mediums, 1 out of 15 from hard, and 1 out of 5 from elite clues. You can also trade in 1 of each clue except for beginners at Watson to get a monster clue in return. But I think that is a complete waste of an elite clue because elite clues are harder to get than monster clues. But then again, elites are trash, so suit yourself. Now, I hope this was insightful. If there's another way that I didn't talk about, make sure to leave it in the comments, help everyone out here, and happy clue hunting. I'll see you in the next video.